small loose leaf tea company and textile company called Kintsugi House. And I chose the name Kintsugi because it's a form of mending pots that makes a broken pot even more beautiful than it originally was. And I'm really interested in the way that we can find ways to preserve things that might otherwise be thrown away, mending, and I think that sometimes that process of mending something actually does result in something more beautiful than the original. Yeah. So all the textiles that I work with have had one life already. Some of them are upcycled kimono, some of them are bits and bobs left over from the eco-printing process, some of them are old curtains that I've thrifted and found and loved. I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to that. And
I love that. So that's with the gold that they put in?
Yeah, mended with gold, and then I think you can also do with silver, but ki means gold, so kintsugi specifically refers to mending with gold.
I didn't even know that's why you called it that. That's beautiful, and that's such a metaphor that extends in so many directions.
It does, with people as well as objects. I think,
I'm gonna call myself the Kintsugi House.
Yeah, I like that. I think that just because you've had some kind of something happen in your life doesn't necessarily mean that you're less because of it. In fact, I think you can be even more beautiful because of that. So, or because of having mended yourself and gone through that process of learning more. So that's the ethos behind it.
Okay, I love that. I love that so much. I can't believe I didn't know that. That's really meaningful.
Yeah, that's my philosophy. But then the tea is just because I love tea, and I've always wanted to have a tea business, and I have a connection to Japan just through having traveled there several times and lived in South Korea too, so I'm actually working right now to try to get some South Korean teas as well. I drink all sorts of tea. It's not just Japanese tea, but I'm starting my business with the Japanese because I feel most strongly comfortable in that world.
Okay, what's the plan for the tea house that's coming up?
Yeah, so I love the tea house idea. It actually, we kind of created that idea last studio tour. We were all sitting around chatting about what this space and treats could be and the potential for forming community here. And I, at the same time, was making the comment that, one of the things I really love is the tasting events where everyone comes and asks questions about the tea, and
you've done that a few times, actually.
I have. I started it here, actually, last January was the first one. And it was really fun. We had a lot of people who were coffee drinkers exclusively come. We had some people who were really into tea, but maybe hadn't had Japanese tea before. And so it was really a mix of different people. And it's coming from a library background. It was really fun to have that kind of enthusiastic education event.
The community organizing.
Bringing people from all walks of life together. Regardless of their background or gender or socioeconomic status. So when we were talking during the last studio tour, we kind of brainstormed this idea of turning it into a temporary tea house that also had art on display and community events. So when I started planning and also found out that you and Em were going to be doing your finale, your exhibition of a year's residency, I was so excited to be able to combine, because again, it's about the community bringing together, and it just feels like that's
that really worked out nicely. I think that's a good idea that we're doing that at the same time. I remember before I moved in here, when I had heard about treats and I was interested in finding out more about it, and I was kind of curious about what it would be like to have a studio here. And I was like, I couldn't even find it. I came to downtown Spruce Pine. I was like looking around.
Where's streets?
Yeah, I couldn't even find it. I think I walked past it a few times, and I assumed that it would be some place that was open to the public, that I could walk in and check it out and talk to people, and it wasn't. And I was really confused by that. Actually, I think I went next door, but they're like have a studio. They're working.
Right.
They're not really open to the public. When I was like trying to ask them questions, I think I was probably interrupting them a little bit. I don't know, but I just remember as like an outsider being very confused. Like, what is Treats? How do I get involved? What are they doing here? And I really wanted to find a way to connect, because it's this cool artist collective.
Yeah.
Like, of course I would want to connect. So to me, this is like a perfect thing that Treats really needs for people like my past self, you know.
Right, to kind of discover what it is that, because I think what Treats is doing is really cool. They're 3 floors, all different mediums, providing working studio space for artists, but they're also doing it as a way to provide affordable studio space for artists, and it's community. Like, yes, the people who have studios here, like, can use each other as springboards or brainstorm, like everyone can work together, but there's also like the extended Treats family. Like, when there are events, there are people who are part of that Treats circle who don't necessarily have you know, a studio here anymore, or maybe never did. They're just kind of in that circle, so it feels like a wider community of support that happens. So yeah, I think there's some really cool things happening here, but oftentimes when I'm talking with folks, they don't necessarily know that at the start, and so I hope that this will be a great way to kind of share more broadly what's happening in this space, to see the work that you and Em have created, and so they're getting to see some of the really cool stuff that has happened here, but also at the same time, I'm hoping that the Treats community will grow as a result of having the doors open and being able to like come in and ask questions and, you know, have conversation over a cup of tea, or one of the events that, you know, you're going to be doing your walnut ink painting on fabric. So what a cool way to like see what your end result is, but also get to like try out a little taste of the process.
Yeah, and Em will be doing her flax spinning demonstration and candle dipping class or workshop or demonstration. So I think it's just like the perfect way for people to kind of dip in and check out what is this, and be able to ask questions and maybe get involved more or contribute in some way to however Treats evolves in the future.
And selfishly for me, the tea tastings are the thing that I really get a lot of spoons from. Like, I feel like I get a lot out of that.
It feeds you.
It does.
It energizes you.
It energizes, and I love, a lot of times what I've found is people who come to the tastings aren't necessarily experienced tea drinkers, and yet the curiosity and the questions that they have, like, I've been really amazed by some of the questions I get, like really detailed scientific or botanical questions, and sometimes I know the answer, and sometimes it's like I'll have to look that one up because I don't know. And
what was one of the examples of your favorite question that you got?
At one of the more recent tea tastings I did, someone was asking me about the purpose of caffeine in tea for the plant itself. Like, what is the reason for caffeine in tea? And so we got to talk a little bit about, it's actually to deter insects. It's bitter, and so and a lot of times that caffeine content is concentrated in the new growth. So it's a really good way to protect the leaves from little bitey insects trying to
natural pesticide.
Yeah, it's a natural pesticide.
Cool.
But it's also a really great way to spread the propagation of the plant, because humans love caffeine. And because we love caffeine, we have cultivated the plants that have it naturally in it. So tea is the second most popular drink on the planet because we love our caffeine fix. and we love the flavors that come out of it.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got to dig deep into why caffeine, why is this in the plant in the first place.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the quick and dirty version of caffeine, but it's just...
Well, I love thinking of plants as conscious beings. So that makes me think of that. It's like to talk to the plant and say, like, what do you have this for? You know?
Right, like why are you carrying this around in your system?
Yeah.
And like there isn't the same caffeine content in the stem, so you can see like it's protecting the leaves, it's protecting the photosynthesizer part of itself.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Got to nerd out on tea with you. Caffeine content.
Oh, I love that. And there'll be lots of more fun questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can, what were we talking about when we first started the pillows? Maybe you sewed all these pillows and you
So
this whole thing.
you and when we were first talking together about turning this space into kind of a joint project, we were trying to figure out like where do we put the seating, and do we keep the seating separate from the exhibition, or is it disruptive to have seating in the middle? And so you guys actually, I can't remember if it was you or Em who said...
I think we saw a picture of floor seating that you pulled up on your phone, and it just looked so cute.
Inviting and cute.
And inviting and aesthetically pleasing and cozy.
Yeah.
That we all were like, let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we decided on floor seating, but obviously if you give a mouse a cookie, if you come up with the idea of floor seating, you need tables and you need floor cushions. So
you did this whole thing.
I
sewed all of these.
I used my mother's eco-printed fabric.
Your mom eco-printed this.
Yeah, these are things that she had given me, like...
That's amazing.
So this one is actually some placemats that she had eco-printed on.
Let's show that.
Actually several, like this one was also placemats. And so I thought it would be really fun to share her fabric as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
And I mean, they can be for sale or not, but I just figured they would be fun to sit on during our tea.
Can we try some of the tea?
Yeah, so the tea that I'd like to serve and share with you is called Hachiju Hachiya Shincha. Can you say it 3 times fast? It's tea that is picked on the 88th day of spring.
Wow. That's what
Yeah,
that means.
yeah. Hachiju Hachiya Shincha. So Shincha is new tea. Shincha just means new tea. Shin is new, cha is tea.
Okay.
But this is new tea that's been picked on that day of spring, and it's a time that's associated with good health, well-being. So it's kind of like a very traditional time to pick tea, and so they're the first new leaves of the year. So it's a little bit of a special tea, and I'll give you lots more if you like. I just don't want to hold
That's
on.
perfect. That's perfect amount. Just taste it.
But because it's the first pick of the year as well, the leaves have gone through the winter, so they're a lot sweeter. They're not yet real bitter or astringent, and it's a gentler flavor.
Okay. And you're supposed to drink it with someone.
Yeah, so there's just a saying in Japanese, and I can't, my Japanese is pretty terrible, so I can't remember what it is in Japanese, but it's basically poking fun at people who drink the new tea of the year alone, like without sharing it with others. It's something that's meant to be shared and enjoyed collectively. So that's why I wanted to serve it today, because I thought, well, I just got it in. You can't just squirrel away the new lovely tea for yourself. You've got to share it with others. So
That's good.
thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
Very gentle, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
It's not a strong tea. It's got a little sweetness to it.
Yeah, I like that. I like how subtle it is.
I shared it with someone who said that it reminded them a little bit of asparagus flavor.
Yeah. It's a little grassy.
There's got a little grassiness, a little bit of vegetal something.
Yeah. And what was the steeping process or the preparation process? Because I know it's really specific. You know how to do that.
Yeah, this one is, you usually brew it around 175, so you don't want to pour boiling water on it because that will make it turn bitter and astringent. So this one's about 175, and you can do anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes. I did this one for 2 minutes, and honestly, if I made it for myself, I'd probably do 3 minutes because I tend to like a slightly more robust flavor.
Okay, so you can adjust accordingly.
You can play with all of it for yourself. Temperature, timing, it's all kind of your personal preference.
Yeah.
But you just have to be aware of, like, if you put water that's too hot on delicate leaves, then it'll pull out the bitter flavors, but it'll bury the more complex sweet flavors. So you wouldn't be able to get the vegetal notes from it if you scalded it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I love that you really know what you're doing. You've like gone to, went to trainings for this and everything?
I've been studying tea for a long time. I still feel like I don't know much.
Because it's such an art.
It is, and there's so much to know. I mean, there's like 2,000 years of tea history in China, and there's just so many hundreds of cultivars. It's all one plant. It's all Camellia sinensis, but there's so many varieties and ways to process it. So yeah, I feel like I'll probably still feel like a beginner several decades from now.
Beginner's mind.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have spent a lot of time playing with it, and I really enjoy it. It's my happy place. So I've spent time traveling. When I was in library school, I was working full time in a library, and I was earning my master's degree in library science. And when I would get vacation time, I would take time off to go around to tea specialist training around the country. So I would fly off to Boston or Atlanta or wherever to like do a tea certification class for fun.
Yeah.
That was well before I had an intention of starting a tea business. It's just my happy place.
Yeah. It's like your artist date.
Yeah, exactly.
You filled up your well.
It's my artist date. So
yeah.
Cool. It's exciting to meet other people who are tea nerds. So
yeah.
Any chance for that?
Oh right, yeah. At the different places. Well, I just think of, lived in China for a while. I remember everyone was drinking green tea immediately when you arrived somewhere.
Anywhere you go.
You could serve green tea and all the leaves were in there still. I don't think it was necessarily done like officially properly. I don't really know. But
someone recently told me the term grandpa style.
Okay. Yeah.
Like where you like throw the leaves in and you don't take them out again, and they just kind of, and he was referring to that as a thing that is common in China too. So
okay,
like I said, so
it's
many different ways.
I haven't been to Japan. Yeah, they probably do. They're very different countries for sure. Yeah. But I remember getting a styrofoam cup with tea leaves in it, and that's everywhere you went.
Right.
Like that.
Right. Yeah. That was a big part of living in South Korea too. Though it wasn't tea, like it wasn't Camellia sinensis tea there at the time when I was there. Coffee was so huge. But you would go anywhere and they would offer you either a little cup of coffee or tea, and it might be like buckwheat tea, or it might be corn tea, it would be some kind of tisane thing. But if you visited enough places back to back, you could float away because you just have one cup after the next cup. And it would be, I really liked that. It was so lovely. You'd go to someone's office and immediately get to share a cup of tea with them.
Yeah. And actually, it was the same in Ireland, but it wasn't green tea. But it's the same kind of practice. It's like immediately you give them black tea there with sugar and cream and milk.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, it was like everywhere you went, that was what you were served.
Yeah.
Tea cultures.
I love tea cultures. Yeah, that's what I want to create here.
Yeah, I love
tea
that.
culture.
I was telling you earlier that there's just something about being offered tea when I walk into someone's house or someone's space or something that like, it's like a symbol to me that like good vibes are there.
Right.
Like I feel welcomed. It's like a good person I'm about to connect with. There's something really special about that.
Right, and it's inviting you into the space to come and
Yeah.
like be welcome and stay a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Sitting down over a cup of tea just feels really important.
Yeah.
I think it's special. So that's what you're doing for treats.
That's what I'm trying to do, and I am excited to see how it works and how people receive it. You never know. You never know what to
Yeah.
expect, and so I'm just enjoying the experience and the whatever happens.
I'm excited about it, and as far as this video goes, is there anything else you want to share?
Well, we have, I'd say, like the tea house details. So you and Emily will have your opening reception on the 11th, right?
Yeah.
From 5 to 8 here. So that'll be kind of the kickoff, and you can preview the space and you can see all the art and enjoy kind of without the distraction of the tea house. Like that's a really good time to come in and see the work that you two have been doing without having the like chaos of a tea house happening around it.
Yeah.
And then the following Wednesday will really kick off all of the tea. So we'll do Wednesday evenings from 5 to 8. And there will be some other event happening in the space as well. And then Fridays, it's going to be tea tastings, and those ones are reservation required, so I can kind of know who to expect, if there's dietary requirements. Those are the only events that are charged as well, so everything else is free and open to the public.
Really? Okay.
But the tea tasting ones I am charging for.
Okay, and how much is that?
They're $40 for
Okay.
that, and it's an hour and a half. Although my experience is it usually runs over. So I had it an hour and a half because people usually have questions or they linger afterwards. So it'll probably
And
be.
how do they book for that?
On my website, they can go to the website, and there's several different themed ones. So there's one that's just sparkling teas, there's one that's matcha, there's one that's like an intro to Japanese teas, and then there's going to be a final one that's Korean teas.
Okay, so is it already set what you're going to do, and then they just book
Yeah, they
this
can pick the ones that are interesting.
that they want to come to? Okay.
Right.
And
right.
so does the $40, is that for one
Each
person?
one, yeah, for one person.
Okay.
And
So it's not like you can come as a couple and pay $40.
No.
You each have to pay individually.
Right,
Okay.
and there's going to be food pairings along with there'll be like tea treats that get paired with the teas. We'll do a flight of different types of teas. Yeah, and then Sundays from 1 to 4, we're back to the open tea house, like free and open to the public. And
It's very generous of you.
well, I mean, you can buy tea if you want when you come, but you can also just
Yeah.
come to hang out. So
Okay, so but you can, is there going to be tea tastings that are part of the free, or just?
there will be cups of tea. So I'll have like a
Okay.
menu, and you can choose like if you'd like a cup of tea.
But then you pay for that.
You do, yes.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's open. You come
come
for
hang
free,
out.
but if you want some tea, you have to pay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and the events that there are, like there's your walnut ink painting, or
Right.
we're gonna do a garden overflow swap, so people can like bring in if they have extra seeds or seeds like plant starts or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all of those activities are entirely free, and obviously enjoying the exhibition. They want a cup of tea. I'm trying to launch the business and see if it's doable, so I am
Yeah.
charging for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about your plan for the future and,
Where it's headed?
and why you're doing this and what you're hoping will happen.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal scenario would be to be able to open a home base, a location. I've been doing pop-up events because I still am fairly new to the area, and I didn't really know if there were enough tea drinkers in the area. And I'm specifically doing Japanese tea, so it's not even are there enough tea drinkers, are there enough people who enjoy Japanese tea to warrant like an established tea business here. So I've been doing pop-ups to kind of test the waters, and this is kind of like I see as the next step. It's not a tea house permanently, but it's a temporary tea house. So this is kind of my way to test the waters on a slightly larger scale. I'd love to have a space because the kinds of events that are happening there, they need a space or a home to be based out of. I like the idea of people being able to come in and have a third space to connect, to form community, to be able to come in and say, hey, I need this thing, but it doesn't exist in the community yet. Can we form something like that here? So in the ideal world, I would be able to open a tea house in a physical location and have a permanent space for it. But I'm still not sure that there's a large enough audience for that in the area. So this is kind of a way for me to test it on a mini scale.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Because Spruce Pine is a pretty small town, but there is Penland, and there's a lot of people who come through there, and they're looking for something like that's nicer, a little nicer to.
And to be honest, I've been really amazed by the number of locals that have come to my pop-up events too, and like are established tea drinkers. Like I've had conversations with people who come up and buy my tea who say, oh, I usually buy my Gyokuro in Kyoto, but I order it from Kyoto, but I'm willing to try yours, which is amazing to me because I wasn't anticipating that there would be, like, I still explain what Gyokuro is to people. So.
I don't know what that is.
Right. It's a type of Japanese green tea, but like it's not sencha, it's not the everyday, it's like a really special tea. And so I've been pleasantly surprised by the number of people that are looking for what it is that I'm trying to do here.
Cool. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So this is the test run.
Yes.
And I hope that it's successful and there'll be a tea house in Spruce Pine.
I hope so too. But I'm also just really excited to do this collaboration with you and with them. And it'll be a fun summer. It's gonna be a fun summer.
I think so too. Yeah. I love that you're doing it. Okay. And then, do you want to say your website and like how people can find you?
Sure. I'll say the website and then maybe I'll send you the link too, so you can. Because I know it's a mouthful. My website is kintsugihouse.net, and it's KINTSUGI house.net. And I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, and people can search for me or search for Andrea Connolly and find me either way, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, Suzanne, for talking with me.
Thank you, Andrea. I'm so excited for everything. Okay, bye-bye.